Welcome to UAPB Currents. I'm your host, Shelly Roby Ingram, and today joining us we have Mrs. Mattie Collins, who is the president for the Ivy Center for Education Incorporated, and also with us we have Mr. Melvin D. Clayton, who is a graduating senior December 2013 here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Now, first off, we'll get started with you, Mrs. Collins. Let the community, and I know everybody knows Mrs. Collins, but for those who may be watching on the internet, who may not know you or not know you yet, then let's take this opportunity to introduce yourself to the community and tell them a little bit about you and how you got involved with the Ivy Center for Education.
Well, here again, I'm Mattie Collins, and I always use my middle initial P. I taught at Pine Bluff High for 35 years, and I've been in education for 39 years. I'm now a retired educator. I'm married. I have 2 grown children and 7 grandchildren, and I love children. And in 2003 and 4, I became the president of Delta Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And at that time, we had a president, international president, we call her the Supreme Bacillus, who had a wonderful idea, and that was to form Ivy academies across the nation and world so that we could help our young people, because our young people are so very important. Therefore, here in Pine Bluff, Delta Omega Omega chapter in 2003 formed the Ivy Academy. Well, in 2004, we received our nonprofit status, and our name was changed to the Ivy Center for Education. And our treasurer, Patricia Richard, is responsible for the name being called the Ivy Center for Education, and we love it, and we love our kids.
Okay, and we have one of those children with us today, or not a child anymore, as we were talking about before we started the show, that he's getting ready to head on out into the world. Melvin, introduce yourself to the audience and give us a little bit of your background and how you came to be a part of the Ivy Center.
Okay, my name is Melvin D. Clayton. I'm from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Collins my 10th grade year at Pine Bluff High School. She was my advanced placement world history teacher. And from the moment I met her, I could tell that she loved children. And she just intrigued me. I heard everyone, cousins, relatives, talking about how great she was. And I was just really excited to be in her class. And I believe it was the summer going to my 11th grade year, we went on a college tour. I got involved with the Ivy Center for Education through Miss Collins. And we went on a college tour. The first year we went to Atlanta, and we toured Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse, and Spelman, I believe. And Emory too, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we toured Emory as well. We just had a great time. We went to not Magic Springs, Six Flags. And we just had a great time. And the next year, we went to New York City and Washington, D.C., and we had the honor of touring Howard University. And we spent a few days in D.C., and we also spent a few days in New York. And we just had another great time. And it just opened the world to me to all the possibilities outside of Pine Bluff, seeing that I can go here and do all these great things and still be from Pine Bluff, because we get such a bad rap as young people in Pine Bluff, and that's not true. We just need people who believe in us, who are ready to make the change.
All right, okay. Now, you gave us a little bit of background information about the Ivy Center for Education. What is the purpose of the Ivy Center for Education?
The purpose of the Ivy Center for Education is to introduce our wonderful children to the world, to help them understand that there's a world out there other than just playing video games and doing things that's not going, well, I'm not going to say it's not going to make them productive in the future, but we want them to get involved with understanding how to take standardized tests, for an example.
Right.
And that'll lead me into something else, because right now our focus is the ACT. And we want our students to do well on the ACT so that they can attend the colleges of their choice. And I'm proud to say that many of them have chosen to attend right here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and I'm very proud of that. And right now we're looking at doing a new ACT workshop coming up really soon, so that our students will be prepared for the September 21st test. And every time before the test is given, the Ivy Center for Education, we plan to have a workshop to prepare our students and get them ready. So as far as the purpose is concerned, it is to educate our kids, to help them understand education is fun, exciting. I enjoyed teaching for 39 years. Exciting, fun, and the kids are fabulous, all of them. Capital all. All.
All right. Now, I know that your purpose is to educate. What are some of the other things that ICE does to serve the community? What are some of the other activities that you all do to serve the community?
Well, if you would like for me to go into the college tour, after the students go through the program, we have a large speakers bureau.
How about we start with going through the program then? Because
we have a large speakers bureau, and here again I'm proud to say that there are professors here at the university who come in and encourage our students. And just to name a few, Dr. Charles Colon and Dr. Elizabeth Wells, they come in and they talk to our students about the importance of mathematics and science. We have a collaboration with Dr. John Kirkendall at UALR. He has come in also, and he has spoken to our students about test-taking strategies to kind of ease their nerve about how they should prepare and not be uptight when it comes to taking tests. We have a huge speakers bureau. We have an advisory council that comes in and talk to our students, and let me also say our parents, because our parents play such a vital role, and we have some of the most outstanding parents in all of the world, I will say, because they're right there with their children, and whatever their children are learning, they're learning it also. Mr. Jeffrey Pulliam comes in and talks to our students. State Representative James Word, it's always interesting when he comes. He talk about the lottery scholarship and the academic challenge and what our students need to do. And he talked to us from the legislative perspective, which is always good. We have wonderful discussions with our students about issues that affects the world today. So we do a whole conglomerate of everything in the Ivy Center. And our best role models, if I may say, are our parents. They're wonderful.
All right. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, then we're going to go into a little more detail about some of the activities that you guys are doing, and we're going to have the opportunity to hear from Melvin about his experiences as well with the Ivy Center for Education. We'll be right back on UAPB Currents.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to UAPB Currents. Again, today we're joined by our guest, Mrs. Mattie P. Collins, who is the president of the Ivy Center for Education Incorporated here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Mr. Melvin D. Clayton, who is a graduating senior. We're going to keep saying it. Graduating December 2013 here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And what is your major, Melvin?
My major is English pre-law. Excuse me for that flub break.
English pre-law.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. And what do you plan to pursue after graduation?
Upon graduating, I plan to attend law school at the Bowen School of Law in Little Rock, and I also want to do a joint degree with the Clinton School of Public Service.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That's great. Now, we earlier in the show, you talked about the college tours and that experience that you had an opportunity to experience as a part of the Ivy Center for Education. Ms. Collins, for those students who are out there and those parents who are out there who would like to, who are clamoring, trying to find out how they can be a part of this so their students can go on these college tours and things as well, what do you need to do to be a part of the Ivy Center for Education?
Well, you have to be a serious student. We have an executive director by the name of Miss Patricia Berry, and she taught 30+ years also. Mm-hmm. And Miss Berry will ask them the first time they attend if they are interested in getting a great education, and if they are, then they're welcome to the Ivy Center for Education. No nonsense, no nonsense. You have to, be focused, and our program hopefully will lead you to success, if that's what you want to become.
All right.
And you can contact me at my home number, 870-536-5417. And we encourage all students who are excited about an education to contact us, because we really want to work with you.
Right.
But now we want you to be a serious student.
Yes.
And we want you to do well in school, respect your teachers and administration, the rules at your school, and just be a good human being. And
right.
We'll be happy to work with you. We meet at Faith Presbyterian Church, and we are indebted to them. We thank them so very much. Their pastor is Reverend Harless Wright, and we've been there for a number of years because we don't have a building.
Okay.
And this is a shout out to anyone who knows how to write a building grant. We would be so happy to one day have an Ivy Center for Education. Okay. But right now, thanks to all the members, the pastor, members, and friends of Faith Presbyterian Church, that is our home. And we meet twice a month. Mm-hmm. If we had our own facility, we could meet every day.
Yeah.
And that would make it even better.
Right. So that, again, was Ms. Collins' plea to those of you who are in the community who would like to help the Ivy Center for Education continue to be able to reach more students like Melvin, so that we can send lots of our students here in Pine Bluff to law school, and hopefully they can come back to the community and serve as Ms. Collins has for so many years. Okay, not to put you on the spot, Melvin, but if we see you back in a few years, then that's fine. We'll welcome you with open arms.
Amen.
So, like I said, go ahead and tell us a little bit more, Melvin, about your experiences and what it was like for you being a part of the Ivy Center for Education. Now, we know growing up with Mrs. Collins that, when you're supposed to be about business, then Ms. Collins expects you to be about business, as she just said. But also when it's time, to have a good time, then she is that person as well. So I can imagine going on a trip with her was a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I guess I'll start at the beginning of how I got involved again. From Pine Bluff, both of my parents attended UAPB, but and at first I really didn't want to go here. I will admit that. I was against it for some odd reason. But Miss Collins just instilled in us that it was okay to go to UAPB, and just making sure that we went to college somewhere, furthering our education in whatever we did. And at the time when I was in the 10th grade, when I first met Miss Collins, I was a completely different person. I was not serious about education. I just wanted to have fun. And Miss Collins, she would tell us, get an education, you're off, baby. That's what she would always say, OPH, off. And but attending the college tour and becoming involved with ICE really got me serious about my education. And it just showed me that if I wasn't serious about my education, where I could be versus, if I did what I needed to do. And so the first year, like I said, we went to Atlanta, and we had a great time there, touring HBCUs and also Emory. And I always knew that I wanted to attend a historically black college. And the first year I said, I'm going to Clark Atlanta. Then the second year we went to Washington, I'm going to Howard. But by the grace of God, I was able to come here to UAPB, and I've loved my experiences here. I'm very grateful to everyone at UAPB, especially Miss Collins. She helped me out a lot along the way.
Right, and Ms. Collins serves also on our Board of Visitors here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
And a graduate.
And a graduate of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, right.
It was called AM&N College.
Oh, of AM&N, all right, okay. And so when you all do your tours, I'm sure you bring the students here to the university as well to visit?
Oh yeah, we're so indebted to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. There's a lab in Corbin Hall. We used it on last year. We have a collaboration with the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff as well as Fayetteville with the ACT prep, which we'll talk about later.
Right.
But we really appreciate using the lab in Corbin Hall where you have all of the computers. And our students, you all have made our students welcome to come over and use that lab at any time for ACT prep, which is greatly needed, and we truly appreciate it.
Right. And before we go to break, even though they greatly appreciate the use of the facilities here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, they would as well greatly appreciate having their own facilities with a fully furnished computer lab as well. So again, that's our plea to the community. As they serve the community can give back as well. So we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the wonderful ACT prep program, which I've had an opportunity to experience some of, and am grateful for that. And we'll be back right after this on UAPB Currents.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to UAPB Currents, and again we're joined by Mrs. Mattie P. Collins with the Ivy Center for Education and Melvin D. Clayton, graduating senior here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And Ms. Collins, I was tickled a little bit. We were sharing some of the experiences while we were on break. Ms. Collins had a story that she wanted to share about one of their college tours, one of their first college tours that they had up to.
Well, I really would like to also give a shout out to, at that time, Senator Henry Hank Wilkins. We were meeting at Dalloway because the Ivy Center had grown so large, and he came by one Saturday morning and he saw that we had about 80 students on a Saturday, and he was really impressed. So he actually helped us to go on our first college tour, and financially. And in 2006, in June of 2006, we took our first college tour. And the cute thing about that one was that we took 3rd through 12th grade. When we got to Morehouse College, the young men didn't have time to take us on the tour, they thought, until they looked in the room where we were all sitting, and they saw all of these little 3rd grade guys lined up to tour Morehouse College. And they were so excited, they then started fussing about who was going to take us on the college tour. And I still see some of those students today, and they're still, you know, doing well in school, and they took our advice. They're getting a great education, and hopefully they're going on to college and further.
Right. And I know that that's one of the important things that to you is preparing our students to go and further their education. And to that end is why you are so focused on everyone being prepared and taking the ACT test. So again, tell us personally why you feel such a desire for people to be prepared, your students be prepared for the ACT.
Well, you know, I look at Pine Bluff High School has had so many Bill Gates scholars, and I'm very proud that 3 of those scholars serve as our mentors, and they excite our students too, and they all want to apply for the Bill Gates scholarship, as well as other scholarships that are out there. There are so many, and we make sure that our students know that there are thousands of scholarships. Right. So we do spend our time helping them find scholarships as well, and so many of our students all of our students have gone on to college. We have a few that went directly to the gone directly to the military, but education has taken the forefront of their lives, and we're so excited about that. And I also want to give a shout out to our board of directors. Okay. Our entire board consists of members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Delta Omega Omega Chapter. And I'd just like to say that between Delta Omega Omega Chapter and Alpha Rho Chapter here at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and your School of Education, they come and they tutor our students, they mentor our students, and give them the realization that you are someone, you are somebody, you are wonderful, and you will become successful. And that's what we love. We have such a positive team working with us at all times, and the parents are wonderful. Right. Can't say enough about them.
Right. And Melvin, why is it important to you to want to give back to the Ivy Center?
The Ivy Center's done so much for me, and I just feel like it's very important that whenever someone does something for you, or if someone doesn't do something for you, you have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility once we get to a certain level to reach back and give back.
Good. All right. Now, tell everybody about the ACT prep program and how they can, who it's for, and how they can get their students involved in it.
Well, the ACT prep program, we have a collaboration, as I said, with UAPB, and we also have a collaboration with the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. And what happens is before each test, we have at least the week before each test, Mrs. Yingling from the U of A, she will come in and she will spend 2 days in a workshop preparing our students. And all we ask of the students is that they come in with a serious attitude. We're not going to say sit down. We're not going to say don't talk. It is understood.
Right.
That is how serious this test is. We have one student who, after attending the workshops, he went from a 24 to a 31. I'm excited about it. And we have Miss Shelly Roby's son, and we're so excited about this, a 7th grader, who I believe 12 years old, made 19 his first time. So we're so excited about that. And something else that made us super excited was when we had the last ACT prep workshop, all of these little 12-year-old guys came to the workshop. And I said, what are you doing here? And they said, oh, we came to beat Roby. We're going to beat him. We've got to make more than he did. He made a 19, and we're here to beat him. So that, you know, that makes us so excited and warm inside, because there's so many outstanding students out there. And I want everybody to know what we have in the Pine Bluff community. We have wonderful kids in every school district.
That's right.
All of our kids are great and important.
That's right. Well, thank you guys both for being here on the show today. And is there anything else that you want to say to the audience before we get out of here?
You know, I would love to give a shout out to all of our supporters. I'm so afraid I would miss one. But just thank everyone who cares and who loves our students, and continue to encourage them, because they are wonderful, and I want you to know it. Here's one right here, and we have so many like Deshaun. And when people put Pine Bluff down and put our students down, don't take it. Correct them and let them know that we have a group out there who's excited about learning, and they will become successful in the future.
Well, again, we want to thank you, Ms. Collins, because even though you say you're retired, nobody can see it. Nobody can see it. Anyone who is providing their home number as the contact information to continue to educate the students in this community. We applaud the Ivy Center for Education for what they're doing, and applaud you for your continued service to the students of this community.
I love them. They're wonderful.
And Melvin, congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you on UAPB TV on Walking Across that Stage in December
13th, everyone.
May I give one more shout out?
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out to my husband and my family for being supportive, because it takes a lot of time and work to do what the Ivy Center does.
Right. Okay. And with that, we thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you next time on UAPB Current.